Hey, this is Mark Spoonhour with Laptop Magazine, and today we're here with the 13-inch MacBook Air, and there's a lot of enhancements that we want to show you. This is still light and thin as ever, but you get a backlit keyboard, an all-new Thunderbolt port, as well as macOS Lion and a new fast processor. We're going to give you a walkthrough of what we think is the best laptop of the year so far. The design of the 13-inch MacBook Air is very similar to last year's model, but we're not complaining because you're getting a 3-pound design, so it's only a 1/10 of a pound more because you have the backlit keyboard, but it's still just as thin as before. It's 0.11 inches at its thinnest point and 0.68 at the thickest, and that's still one of the feltest laptops on the market. And we'll give you a quick tour of all the ports while we're here. You have the SD card slot on the right-hand side, which you don't have on the 11-inch model. Our only complaint is that it sticks out a little bit. You have the Thunderbolt port, which you can attach to high-speed peripherals, including Apple's new Thunderbolt display, which doubles as a dock. And you have a USB right here. And on the left-hand side, you have the headphone jack, another USB port, and the magnetic power connector, and that's it. But that's pretty much all you need. On the inside, there's a pretty new change with the backlit keyboard. And that's one of the reasons, last time around, Apple wasn't able to squeeze that in. But this is actually one of the better backlit keyboards that we've seen because the light is nice and even. And the tactile feedback on the keyboard is really nice too. It's quiet, but it's also nice and firm. One thing that you won't find on a lot of Windows machines is this huge trackpad that Apple has, but there's a lot that you can do with it too. With the new Lion operating system, there's a lot of gestures. This is mission control, and how you get in there is a 3-finger swipe up. So you can see all of your open applications. And when you click on a full screen app, you can actually go into that. And then you just do a 3-finger swipe from one desktop to the next, something that you don't have on Windows machines. And I'll show you one other cool trick. This is Launchpad. So I did that with a 3-finger pinch with my thumb, and this is what gives the Lion OS a very similar experience that you'll have on an iOS device like the iPad. So all of your applications are here, and it's easier for you to launch applications right from this menu. So all I have to do to get out of here is a pinch out, and there you go. In terms of the display, you have a 1440 by 900 resolution screen. And for us, that's really an important difference versus the 11-inch model, because on that you have 1366 by 768. And it doesn't sound like a lot, but it really makes the difference between this feeling like a full-screen everyday laptop versus a supersized netbook. So you have a sharp and bright display with actually really good viewing angles, despite the fact that it's glossy. And you also have the webcam up here, which you can use for FaceTime calls. And in terms of performance, the sound is actually quite good for a 13-inch system. Gets nice and loud, and the speakers are actually underneath the keyboard. And you have all the performance that you need for skimming through photos and doing photo editing and iPhoto, which is included. And with all of this power from the Core i7 processor, you still have 6.5 hours of battery life. So when you add it all up, you have a very powerful notebook that's nice and thin and you can take with you anywhere. When you think about everything that you're getting for your $1299, the 13-inch MacBook Air is a pretty amazing value. You have a 3-pound design that's ultra light and ultra thin. You have a backlit keyboard, one of the best touchpads in the business, a high-res display, Core i7 power, and over 6 hours of battery life. You also have a Thunderbolt port, and basically all the power that you need to do all of your everyday computing, and something that you could take with you everywhere. That's why we're giving the 13-inch MacBook Air 5 stars and our Editor's Choice Award. This has been our video review of the 13-inch MacBook Air, and this is Mark Spoonhour with Laptop Magazine.